Good afternoon. This is Rich Nass, Executive Vice President with Open Systems Media, and I'm here for this week's installment of 5 Minutes With. This week, I'm speaking to Jon DeSouza, who is the President and CEO of Harting Americas. Good afternoon, Jon. How are you?
I'm doing well, Rich. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Okay, so we have 5 minutes, so let's dive right into this thing. Lots of people talk about smart things like smart homes, smart devices, smart cities, even smart factories. But from what I understand about Harting, you guys are fostering smart connectivity. What is that, and where does that fit in with all the smart things that I just rambled off?
Sure. Yeah, we believe that smart connectivity is the next level for connectivity in the industrial space. 40, 50 years ago, connectors were used for power, and then it evolved into power and signal, and then power, signal, and data. We then, in the mid-90s, came up with the modular line, which allowed the industrial market to combine all of these transmission media into one connector with the modular design. But now what we see is a connector that is a passive device. And so what we're trying to do is to add intelligence to the product and make it an intelligent device. And we're doing that through a number of technologies. RFID, for one purpose, we're integrating our own RFID technology into the connector so that you can store information, read to and from that tag about the connector system and the cabling as well. We're also adding additional functionality such as surge protection to the connector, and also integrating sensors, potentially even to the connector system, so you can measure things like current, temperature, voltage, and be able to do predictive maintenance.
Okay. That sounds interesting. So the first thing that popped into my head when you're talking about all these smarts that are being added is security. Every piece of functionality that you've added is a potential hack point. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so we're working with one of the first things that we had to do is to invest a lot in our own software development and develop our own security system and software code, but also utilizing programming language that's already available. And so we today feel very good about the security of our code, which is something that belongs to our customer, and does it address every single concern that is out there? Of course not, but we feel very, very confident about security, and we're going to continue to invest more and more in our own software development. It's something that we take it very seriously, which is the reason why we decided not to outsource all of it. In fact, we just about a year or two ago, we opened up a brand new office in Berlin, Germany, and hired a number of software developers, including security experts.
Okay, you just led me into my next question. Things that happen here in North America are different than what happens in Europe. Are you having to do 2 different system builds for different regions, or are you able to reuse a lot of that same technology?
For the most part, we're able to utilize the same technology. What we have changed or adapted, we've developed, for example, in our Mika product, which is an IIoT computing device, we've been able to develop several communication protocols. So here in North America, there's a lot of EtherCAT being used, whereas in Europe, a lot of Profinet, right, because of the Siemens influence. And so what we've done, we've developed several communication protocol or cards so that we can easily modify or swap those cards depending on the programming language that our customers are currently using.
Okay, that's very interesting. You guys are not always looked at as being in the smart technology. And excuse me if I'm not phrasing this right, but I think you guys more is doing rugged connectors, doing the dirty work kind of thing, and now you're doing things that are, at the leading edge. Is there some perception that I'm not getting right? Or
no,
is
for
it
sure.
a fair assessment?
No, for sure. I think when it comes to smart connectivity, the consumer market is a little bit ahead of the industrial market. Some of the IoT solutions or IoT solutions for the consumer market has been around for a while. It's easier to measure and to invest. In the industrial environment, there's a level of complexity that's really delaying the adoption of smart connectivity. And so we are focused on the industrial market. So therefore, there's a lot more that we need to do in order to be ready for smart connectivity. You talked about security. We have to talk about who owns the data, right? We have to talk about how do we get all of these machines to talk to each other and communicate back to the IT floor. So there's a level of complexity added to it. And then, most importantly, you have to think about, okay, where's my return on my investment? Because this is not just one simple device that I'm upgrading here. This is my entire factory floor. What is the real benefit? And so that case is still being made across several industrial markets, from the energy sector to the robotics sector, automotive. And so the industry is lagging a bit. But when it comes to industrial connectivity and smart connectivity within industrial space, without a doubt, Harting is at the forefront and leading that initiative.
Very good. Okay. Well, we could probably talk about this for a long time. We've used up our 5 minutes. So I'd like to thank you, Jon, for taking the time to speak with me. That was Jon DeSouza. He's the president and CEO of Harting Americas, and I'm Rich Nass, Systems Media. Have a great day, Jon.
You too. Thanks again.